Veruschka Foundation was started in memory of my late sister Veruschka. She was going on 26 years of age and we unexpectedly lost her. She was on the autistic spectrum and she was the light of our lives. We had to find a way of dealing with the grief, and the only way for us to keep her memory alive was to do something in her name and set up something. And we didn't know what that something was, but she was our motivation, she was our inspiration. That's how I trained as a neurobiologist as well, always very interested to know why her brain worked differently to mine. So before we set up what we thought we should do in her memory, we conducted a 3 months, community-based needs assessment. And we realized that what was missing was essentially a platform to showcase the abilities of individuals with disabilities. And it's quite a mouthful, ability and disability in the same sentence. But, it is the core of what we do. And we felt that by setting up something maybe like a foundation where we run activities, every quarter to showcase the skills of, the individuals. In particular here, developmental disabilities like autism, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, and other intellectual disabilities. But to then have some kind of enabling opportunities post that is what we felt we should work on. And that's how we set up Veruschka Foundation. So it started off as being a very small, concept, which grew into something really large. If I don't help somebody, just like my sister now, today, before, we as a family are gone, then who's going to do it? And so that's how, I decided to hang up my boots in science and, do this full time. Working with our motivation and, the core of that being Veruschka and also the core of it being a family, we felt that there were 3 large aspects to our work. One was that, there had to be acceptance, there had to be a celebration of their abilities, and there had to be empowerment where they were leading an independent life. And so our vision is to accept, celebrate, and empower individuals with developmental disabilities. And our mission is essentially to provide these individuals with, income generation opportunities through sustainable livelihood avenues. Whether it's mainstream employment, whether it's micro-entrepreneurship, or whether it is supported employment through our own in-house initiatives. It's pretty much to provide, income to at least 1,000 individuals by 2030. Veruschka Foundation's work is anchored largely with 3 pillars, which is accept, celebrate, and empower. And under Accept, we essentially work on running awareness programs where essentially they are community-based and we're trying to change mindsets, influence perspectives, and create opportunities which would not necessarily come through if you and I were just having a conversation. So we have to showcase something for the public to realize, hey, these people can do something. And I think I can effect that change by providing a job, by providing an internship, by giving you space to come and showcase your singing ability or your cooking ability or whatever it is. And so under Accept, we run several initiatives, but the one that I want to point out today is the Cook for Change Challenge. So that was something that we started our foundation with in 2016. It's a lovely little competition. I say little, but our hope is that we are having the 3rd edition later this year, and it's going to be bigger than what we've done before. But essentially, the idea is that the Cook for Change is a platform where we are showcasing the abilities of the individuals with disabilities in their attempt to provide for themselves. And we are looking at the core of what that is sustenance. And I think COVID was a very big lesson for us that if you didn't know how to cook, and I think the Cook for Change is a celebration of independence. And it is one where we felt, and this surrounds all of our work, is that it has to be positive, it has to be uplifting. And I think this is why we also anchored ourselves in food and hospitality, because we felt that many individuals like Veruschka were foodies. And we realized when we did that community needs assessment that all of the special schools and centers were training in the culinary arts by teaching them simple things like a Bombay sandwich, a bhel. They were making nimbu pani, but they were not able to take it up a notch. And we felt that that is where we could showcase these abilities. We could see what is the potential. And that's what the Cook for Change does. And we have celebrity chefs that are attached to that, like Chef Sanjeev Kapoor, Chef Ranveer Brar, Chef Devang Zaveri, and several other chefs that have been attached before. And the idea is to also have that little bit of everyone is a winner. Nobody should be left behind. But having that concept of competition as well, because the real world is about that. That if we want to make the point that an individual with a disability is the same as somebody without a disability, then we need to level the stage. And the Cook for Change does that. And so what has been beautiful over the years is that we found that we've been able to affect job opportunities. We have been able to have these individuals who have shown us their flair, then be enrolled in one of our training programs. And so there's a lot of potential in terms of identifying what is the scope and the career goals going forward, but also besides that, the crux of it being that, hey, I'm now an adult and this is what I can do to sustain myself, and I need to build on this because guess what? I need to live an independent life, just like you and me. So that's what the Cook for Change does. Coming to our second pillar, which is Celebrate, that is anchored around the space we are sitting in today, which is the Culinaris Institute of Hospitality. The story is linked to what we did with Cook for Change and other awareness initiatives, where we kept meeting several family members. And they kept telling us, the big elephant in the room is what is going to happen to my child after I'm gone. And this is all great, having, all of these events, as you would call it, or awareness programs, every quarter. But then what happens on a daily basis, and what happens, going forward? And we felt, okay, maybe we need to think about that. So we started a culinary program. We felt, let's go back to, what we know best. What we do through Culinaris is we run government certified training programs that are individualized but family centric. What that means is that every single class is held with not only the individual with disability, but also with a family member, or what we call a supporter, somebody that's part of the child's life. So we've had daddies that have come to class. We've had mom being the usual suspects always, and the primary caregiver. And we've had, siblings like me, that have come to class, and we ensure that there is a mind shift change at home. Because the goal through two of our programs, one is the Independent Life Skills program, is where we teach you how to hold a knife, how to make your first cup of tea, how you can make Indian staples such as dal, roti, sabzi, and then, fancy stuff like the pastas of the world, and, and continental food and bakery, of course. Because you can't survive on bakery, but you definitely need bakery to make your life interesting. So we do that, and then we have a market skill driven course which is called the Seed of the Future, which is skill enhancement and economic development of the future. Through that program, we work also on the wider hospitality skills, such as housekeeping, service, and we also work on front desk. So we are looking at different ways of how we can instill life skills and then market skills. And then post that is enabling income generation. And typically we have, adults. Our main focus is working with adults who are essentially 15 years plus. We have no upper age limit, with one of our students being, a ripe old age of 62. So that's what we do through Culinaris. And what we are hoping for is then with our third pillar, which is Empower. And through Empower, as I mentioned at the start, that we are looking to enable income generation, and we call it income generation because one size doesn't fit all. And because we work with the families, we are essentially trying to find on a case-to-case basis what is best for each individual with disability and the family unit. So it could be that for some families, it's mainstream employment in the wider hospitality sector. For another family, it could be that it's micro entrepreneurship and either food or bakery based is our focus. Or it could be that they are interested in supported employment, which is what we do through a couple of our initiatives at Veruschka Foundation. One is called A Bite Better, where we make gluten-free, sweet and savory packaged products, which is now listed on Amazon. So it was a very big win for us. It's been a month, and it's incredible that our products are reaching Uttarakhand and Chandigarh and Kanyakumari and literally the different points in India, which we never thought was possible. And also we run another one which is called Serving Change, where we provide catering for bespoke events and also experiential dining. So this is this sort of encapsulates our largely our work which is anchored on these three pillars. One to do with awareness, the other is working on skill development, and then finally livelihood.